it's windy. Okay, well, I guess the instructor's leaving. I'm like the slow person now. I'm slowing everybody down.
So, the size of the glacier is approximately 550 square kilometers, which probably doesn't tell too much, but I can tell you it's just a little bit smaller than Singapore. The average thickness of the ice is 300-400 meters, but the deepest point is 700 meters over the crater, because we have a massive volcano under Mýrdalsjökull called Katla. It's one of the most dangerous volcanoes, not only Iceland, but the whole northern hemisphere. The size of the crater is 100 square kilometers. When it erupts, you know what happens, a lot of shit, but something else than you think, because the ice is so thick over the crater, it's probably cannot penetrate the ice. So what happens, a lot of ice got melted, which creates a flood, a deadly one. If you combine all the greatest rivers on the globe and you add them together, like Amazonas, Nile, Yangtze and so on, you have the amount of water goes with this flood. So it's very dangerous because of the amount of water, and also because when you have the eruption, even scientists have no clue about where it will go out from the glacier. It can go to the north or can go to the south. Actually, it happened already a few times that it went to the south. If you look that direction, now it's snowy, but there is like a part of the coast 5 kilometers wide, which was added by a flood like that from the last eruption in 1918. So the debris went down from the mountain and from the volcano and added 5 extra kilometers to the coast. It happened many times already, so if you look to the left, you can see that mountain standing alone over there, so lonely, right? The name of the mountain is Pietursei, which means Peter's Island, because that mountain used to be standing alone in the ocean, because the coastline was so much closer to these mountains we are on. But with this flood, the coastline extended many times and slowly ate this island and turned to be a mountain. Okay? Iceland is constantly growing, even nowadays. And there is one more interesting thing. If you look over there, you see the mountain. That's the little sister of Katla, called Eyjafjallajökull. You can pronounce it so easily. And the eruption in 2010, you might remember, when the whole European air traffic stopped. It was because of that mountain, volcano over there. Basically what happened, the Icelanders were very tired of the tourism already. Down the services for a month to have some holidays. But the truth is, why it happened, it also has the glacier on top of the volcano, but not that thick here, so it could penetrate. But what happened before, the hot magma met the very cold ice under high pressure, and that created the explosion, which shoot the ash up into the air 8-9 kilometers high, and that was blown by the wind over Europe, and that's why the plane stuck. Actually, the wind blew it all the way to New Zealand. Even there they shut down the flights for 3 days. And probably I should have started with this, but anyone knows how a glacier forms? So basically, in this case, in case of Mýrdalsjökull, we had this huge crater. And during the winter time, the crater started to fill up with many layers of snow. It was basically more snowing in the winter times than melting in the summer times. So you got a lot of layers on top of each other, and after some time the higher layers were so heavy it started to compress the lower layers. If you take one snowflake, the air is 80-90% of one snowflake. But when you start to compress, you press out the air from the snow, and then when you reach like 20-30% of air, it turns to solid ice. And it's a little bit tricky because you see a lot of snow here, but the glacier itself is ice. Okay, and here it formed like, started to grow in the crater, and at some point you reach the edge, the crater, and went over. So nowadays you can imagine this glacier like my hand. You have the ice cap on top of the mountain and the crater, and in the valleys the ice is flowing down. Those are the outlet glaciers or glacier tongues. One you see on that side. When we go back, you will see lots of cracks on the right side. That's an outlet glacier called Solheimajökull. Okay, and the cracks are there because of course the ice cannot bend so well, so it tries to follow the terrain but cannot. So when it should bend, it cannot. It cracks. And then you have these nice cracks, we call them crevasses. And if you see one, it will be like curved because the edge is a little bit stuck on the sides of the valley, and the middle part of the outlet glacier travels a little bit faster, so it creates these curves. The size of the outlet, the speed of the outlet glacier is approximately 100-120 meters a year. So it's pretty slow, but moving.
Do you ever think you'd walk on a glacier?
Question.
I wanted to know if that's the island. I have a question for you. Is that the island you could take a ferry to?
Yes,
Okay.
Westman Islands. It's
Okay.
not only one, it's few islands.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
If you see the very left one,
Uh-huh,
which is kind of like this shape, I don't know the name.
yeah,
It's the like the youngest one,
okay.
born in the 50s, 1950s.
Oh, really?
With an eruption under the sea,
Uh-huh,
and when the eruption stopped, they closed down the island.
uh-huh.
No one can go there. Only
Uh-huh.
few scientists, and they are documenting how life forms.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
Very interesting. You
Oh,
can Google it if you want to.
Yeah.
It's called Surtsey.
okay. It's so pretty. It was so peaceful when all the machines were off.